You know, what makes a story really, truly scary? It's not always the monster you see. Sometimes it's the rules you have to follow to avoid it. So today, we're going to break down a story that builds suspense in a brilliant way by making your own voice, your most basic instinct, the one thing that will get you killed.
This line right here, it's everything. It's not just some spooky tagline, it's the number one law in this terrifying world. It lays out the stakes instantly. Make a sound, and you're done. Simple as that.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the setting. Because every great horror story needs a creepy place to call home, right? And Oakhaven starts building that dread way before anything actually happens.
So you look at Oakhaven, and at first you think you've seen this before. It's got that perfect postcard town look, white picket fences, the whole deal, hiding some dark secret. But here's the twist. There's this relentless, invisible clock ticking down over everything, putting the entire town on borrowed time.
And this is where that tension becomes real. Time itself is the enemy here. 5:30, 5:55, 6:01. These aren't just points in the day. They're like steps in a town-wide ritual for survival. That beautiful sunset is literally a deadline.
All right, so you've got this town, wound up tight as a drum. What happens next? Well, someone has to walk right into the trap, doesn't he? And he has no idea what the rules are. Meet Elias. He's our guy, a travel blogger, probably looking for a quaint little story for his site. He's basically us, the outsider who has no clue what he's just walked into. And that ignorance is exactly what makes him the perfect trigger for this whole nightmare.
And there it is, the big mistake. A completely normal thing to do, right? Your car breaks down, you ask for help. But in Oakhaven, at this time of day, that's a fatal error. And the response he gets? Man, that's what's so creepy. Nobody yells at him. Nobody even answers. Just a curtain closing, silent. And just like that, the switch flips. The silence isn't just an absence of noise anymore. The story describes it as a pressure, like you can literally feel it pushing down on you. The entire town has become a hunting ground, and Elias just rang the dinner bell.
So the trap's been sprung. But what are they all hiding from? Well, now we get to the fun part. The vague threat of be quiet is about to become very, very real.
So Elias gets pulled to safety, for now, by this terrified local guy named Mr. Miller. But here's the thing. Mr. Miller can't speak. He can't warn him out loud. Instead, he has to grab a piece of chalk and spell out the horrifying rules of the game on a chalkboard. He's the silent teacher.
And just look at these rules. They are absolutely brutal. Not a whisper, not a cough. No room for error. But that second one? Whoa. If you hear your name, it is not your friend. Just think about that for a second. It takes one of the most comforting sounds in the world and turns it into a deadly lure.
And just when Elias is trying to wrap his head around this, the threat goes from physical to deeply psychological. The thing outside uses the voice of his mother who has been dead for 5 years. See, this isn't just some mindless monster, it's smart. It uses your memories, your love, as a weapon against you.
So for 3 agonizing hours, the tension just builds, and you know it's got to snap eventually. Well, here we go. This is the moment it all goes wrong. In these things, the hunters, they are not messing around. They start playing sounds to mess with him. A baby crying, a police siren, even his own voice calling for help. All sounds designed to make you react, to make a mistake. They're trying to mentally break him. But after all that psychological warfare, you know what finally gets him? It's not the monster. It's not the scary sounds. It's a spider. A simple, tiny spider crawling into his sleeve. Something so mundane, so ordinary. And he just yelps. He can't help it. It's a reflex. And that's the whole point, isn't it? After hours of holding it together, his own body betrays him. And that's what makes it so terrifying, because that could happen to any of us.
And then, complete silence outside. The scratching just stops. And let me tell you, that sudden quiet is 1,000 times scarier than any noise that came before it. It's the sound of being found.
In the end, it is swift and it is violent. The door doesn't just swing open, it explodes. There's no fight, no last stand, no hope. The consequence for making one tiny sound is immediate and absolute. Game over.
So what happens then? What's left when the sun comes up? Well, if you're looking for a happy ending or some nice, neat answers, you're not going to get them. All that's left is more mystery.
The sun rises, the birds start singing, and the town just goes back to being that perfect little postcard. It's as if the whole night was just a bad dream. And that quick return to normal might be the most disturbing part of the whole story.
Now remember, there were 2 men hiding in that cellar.
Elias, the stranger, and Mr. Miller, the local who tried to save him. And in the morning, this is all that's left. Not bodies, not blood, just 2 pairs of shoes. That clean, clinical emptiness is the final horror. We get no answers, leaving our imaginations to fill in the terrifying blanks.
And the townspeople? They just walk right on by. To them, this isn't a tragedy. It's just another morning. The clock is reset. They've got about 12 hours of daylight left before they have to do it all over again.
So in the end, you realize the real horror of Oakhaven isn't the monsters in the dark. It's the silence they demand. It's a world that weaponizes your own survival instincts against you, leaving us with one really terrifying question.